All right, Nick.
Oh, hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'd be happy to describe things if you'd like, or we can um,
Yeah.
talk about whatever you want.
Can you introduce me the what's in the mysterious box?
Yeah, let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I've done is put together a selection of mostly wine. There's a sake here as well. And it has a range of flavors, styles, and different countries.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first is this champagne, Jean Josselin.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a grower champagne, meaning the winery grew the grapes, saw them through the whole production process, and then made the wine. So
It's a
small producer.
it's a special term because that is not the norm of how they do champagnes.
I would say that the majority of brands that are most famous, like Dom Perignon, Krug, Ruinart, Bollinger, Taittinger, they are so big that they buy a lot of the fruit
Mm-hmm.
from um, small growers around
Yeah.
the region.
Uh-huh.
So it's almost like a restaurant who buys their ingredients from suppliers instead of they grow the
like Blue Hill.
produce.
Yeah.
Like Blue Hill Stone
Yeah.
Barns would
Uh,
be sort of like this grower producer.
I see.
So
Yeah.
um, that's kind of what makes these growers special, and they make wines that are a bit more delicate, I'd say, than the big houses.
Mm,
So the Dom Perignon and Bollinger, they make delicious wines, but they're really showy wines.
I see. Yeah.
They're impressive.
Yeah.
The growers are a bit more focused and
Okay.
detailed.
Yeah,
So
like yeah, I guess then for a occasion like a wedding, maybe you want the showy ones. Like it's not necessarily, it like they serve different purposes. But for this one, maybe you just want to enjoy at home and figure out all the intricacy. Yeah.
it's true. Although for your wedding, we drank all the champagne that was at your wedding, so we don't have
Yeah.
any more. But it was a 2012 vintage Blanc de Blanc from a grower.
Uh-huh.
So even within grower wines, they can make showy examples.
Uh-huh.
It's usually just the top of the line
Uh-huh.
wines from growers are the most showy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is a classic blend, so it has. It's actually not a blend. It's all Pinot Noir, so this is what they call Blanc de Noir,
Oh.
and it's where you take a dark skin grape,
Uh-huh.
and the inside of the grape is clear juice.
Mm-hmm.
So they press it very gently and allow the juice to make a white wine from a red grape. So
I
it's
see.
a
Yeah.
special technique.
Yeah. Like it's all kinds of special, and you just want to try it immediately.
I know it's hard to wait.
Yeah, do you recommend to wait or I can drink it right away?
I've designed the mystery box so that all the wines are within an accessible drinking window right now,
Uh-huh.
or you could choose to wait and continue aging if you wanted to, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not a requirement.
Okay. Nice.
So it's true that with a lot of wines, they encourage waiting,
Yeah.
but a lot of these have a little bit of age on them and
Mm-hmm.
should be really good right now.
She actually, do you know that? She gave me a bottle as a gift.
Oh,
And
did he really?
yeah, told me to wait. Guess what? Which bottle he picked?
Was it a champagne?
Yeah, one
Oh,
of his favorites.
I know he likes Krug quite a bit.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
that is the showy one.
Krug vintage.
Yes.
Oh, I wonder where he got it.
Yeah. Oh, is it hard Is it hard to get it?
It's very rare.
Oh, I knew it's good and rare, but I don't know. It's very rare.
Well, you'll see that
How
there's.
much is the bottle?
Oh, it's not about the price, but
Uh,
it's very special.
Yeah, it's
So.
about that. Wenxin, Nick just told us this is very rare and very difficult to get the gift from Xin. Yeah, this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Krug vintage, and that's the 2008, which is again, it's a wine that you could drink now, but it has a long aging potential and
Mm-hmm.
be a great anniversary type of wine or something
nice.
to enjoy
Yeah.
on a special moment.
So you mentioned it's
Krug, yeah.
Krug vintage one.
Yeah, so wines from Champagne that carry a single year on the label are usually more special. Those are single vintage wines
I see.
versus something like the Josselin here is non-vintage. It might have
From different years.
3 or 4 years blended together.
I see.
And part of the reason there is that the Champagne region is the furthest north in France,
Yeah.
and the weather is the most challenging.
Yeah.
So they usually blend multiple years to achieve some consistency.
Yeah.
And only a couple times a decade can they make a single vintage wine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so this 2008 rested in the Krug cellars until I believe 2021 or 2022. So
Ooh.
it has over a decade of aging at the winery until release.
Okay.
So
Just became available 2 years ago.
yes, and it's very special.
Thanks,
So,
Shane.
thanks, Shin.
Yeah.
Yep.
There
There you go.
Yeah. How did you get access to this?
Well, the way that it works for my business is I work with the supplier all year long and buy different wines that they recommend. And then through that relationship and showing a loyalty and a partnership, they say, okay, to reward that, we will allow you to buy a small amount of special wines
Yeah.
every so often. So that's what they call allocation in the business.
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah,
You
so this
buy
is-
a lot of and they give you something special.
Yeah, as a thank you and as a
Yeah.
reward. So I was lucky to get 6 bottles for the year of 2008, and so what a treat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we have here is not a wine, but it's a sake. Comes from Japan, and this is a sort of like the grower champagne. It's a small producer of sake, and this level of quality is maybe in the top 5% of best quality of any sake that's made. Usually when we go to a restaurant and get the sake, like the warm sake with your sushi or anything like that, that can be delicious, but it's a big production beverage.
Yeah.
Versus something that...
And sometimes they can be expensive, like not the warm sake, but like the bottled sake, they can be expensive, but still like large production.
Exactly. Yeah. So something like this is a small production and is made in a very traditional way. So this is has a lot, the sake terms can get complicated.
Yep.
It's a Muroka, Genshu, Junmai, Daiginjo.
Yeah.
So it's basically a raw sake, unfiltered, undiluted, unpasteurized, with no brewer's alcohol added, and the rice grain is Daiginjo, meaning the full rice grain has been milled to less than half of its original weight.
Yeah, and I like how kind of low-key this bottle is. Yeah, it looks like a very, because it is a cheap cap and just a blue bottle, it looks like very just about the alcohol, not about the packaging.
It's not this really elaborate design.
Yeah,
it's very detailed design, but not showy.
Yeah, detailed but not showy.
And this is, sake generally isn't beverage that's meant to be aged. There's a few examples that exist like that, but this is one that I would recommend having in the next few months.
Okay.
Great with food.
Nice.
Whether it's home cooking or you take it out to a nice dinner, it could be really nice. So after the sake here, we have this is a Beaujolais from a small producer named Jean Foillard. And in France, there are many different wine regions. The most famous might be Bordeaux. Burgundy is also very famous. And south of Burgundy, its own region is called Beaujolais.
Yeah.
They focus on a red grape called Gamay. And just like Pinot Noir, Gamay is a lighter skinned grape variety and is really vibrant, refreshing. And this Beaujolais comes from a single neighborhood called Morgon, which is kind of a prized area within the region. And Jean Foillard's a famous producer. So this is just like the Krug, another kind of allocated wine that's a special thing to get. And
Nice.
So
uh,
a lighter. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the wax seal, does it usually indicate it's a natural one or a raw one?
A lot of natural wines will have that wax
Uh-huh.
seal, and I think it's a way of kind of contrasting more.
Okay.
I don't know if
It's a style choice
it's a
rather than.
style choice.
Yeah.
It's more low tech.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, really?
that's the way I would describe it.
Even
Is like the beautiful kind of metal capsules that we see on wines they're a bit more high tech, and this is just dipping it in wax.
Okay.
It seems like it's done on the farm. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Evoking an old school
Uh-huh.
sensibility.
Uh-huh.
So I would describe Foillard as being towards that raw wine end of the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
but still very very clean, vibrant, and fruit forward wine, but with a lot of minerality to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Want to do that one next?
No, I'm just checking if they're all in the frame. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to a few different countries for the next wines.
Mm.
This is a Malbec
Mm-hmm.
from Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in a great window right now. It's 2013 vintage, so no need to really age it too much longer. I think it would be drinking beautiful right now. And it's from Luján de Cuyo, which is a neighborhood within Mendoza that is up in the Andes Mountains, very high elevation, gets a lot of sunlight, and creates very concentrated, delectable wines.
How would you describe the difference between Malbec and Cabernet Sauvignon?
You know, they're both grapes from the same region, Bordeaux originally, southwest France. But Cabernet Sauvignon has more structure and that kind of tannin grip.
Mm-hmm.
Malbec is softer and rounder
Mm-hmm.
and has more of a plush kind of silkiness to it.
Plush thickness.
Yeah, so I would say that Malbec is easy drinking, but also is full-bodied and robust.
Yeah. Yeah.
But doesn't have the same kind of strength or edge as Cabernet Sauvignon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the originally from France, but these days the most famous examples are from Argentina.
Yeah, like when I say Argentina one, they're almost always Malbec.
Yep. There are some other great reds coming out of Argentina, but if you were to place a bet, chances are it's going to be a Malbec if you're finding one.
Cool.
So,
yeah.
Next is a Spanish wine. This is from an area called Priorat, and it's in the northeast part of Spain in Catalonia, near Barcelona. And it's a famous area for its soil type. It's on this black slate called Licorea.
Oh, yeah.
So the soil is just pitch black, and the grapes can vary. Often it's Grenache, Carignan, sometimes Cabernet Sauvignon. This is a blend of Grenache and Carignan. So it's going to be a really big, powerful wine that has a lot of earthiness and is great for, I would say, like barbecue, smoked meat, just really intense, savory
Funk's
foods.
party.
Yeah, you can even do it with hot pot. It could be really cool with hot pot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spicy food, Szechuan. I think Priorat with that kind of food is really good.
It just gets you like spicy and big one, spicy and big one, just
all together.
Yeah.
So good.
Nice.
And then the final one is Italian wine from Tuscany. It's a Chianti Classico, and this is based on Sangiovese, which is the classic Italian grape, especially from Tuscany.
The vintage birth year one is also is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So it's grape that can age really nicely, but is pretty accessible in youth and has a lot of herbaceousness and savory tones. So kind of in terms of weight of the reds, I'd say the lightest red is the Gamay. I would say the Chianti is next. And then probably the Malbec and then the Priorat. So you can kind of choose a wine based on what occasion that you want to drink it. Like any of these could be good with a meal, but I would say like if you're to drink something on its own, maybe you do the Beaujolais or the Malbec because they're a bit softer.
Yeah.
The Chianti and the Priorat, I would do with food for sure.
Yeah.
But they can all go with a meal as well.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.